Game 3 was held in Kobe. Hirose showed us an incredible move. Now let's get started. Hi everyone, it's Hidesh, bringing you Game 3 of the 51st OE title match, sponsored by the Alliance of Newspaper Companies. Game 3 was held in Kobe, Hyogo Prefecture. Now the game count is 1 versus 1 as they tied the score in second game. Now it's third game and Hirose plays black pieces again. So let's see if he plays another ranger Anaguma or not. Okay, black now played pawn 7f, white FUKAURA played 3d, and here black played pawn 2f. So he doesn't use ranger rook, he goes for static rook. Well, actually Hirose uses static rook too. Okay, so this time, well, it's now FUKAURA's turn to play ranger rook, and he chose this strategy, bishop 3c. Okay, this opening is pretty new. This strategy is called bishop 3c on 4, because he plays bishop 3c on the fourth move, okay? Now, once white did that, black usually makes a bishop exchange. So he did that, knight recaptures. Well, because now the knight's head is basically a weak point, so black can now try to attack there. And also, now 2d square is not guarded, so black can go for the pawn exchange on the second file. So black goes for the second file, pawn push to 2e, but now white swings the rook over to 2b. Yeah, so it's kind of opposing rook. Okay, black goes for the edge pawn, 9f. Okay, now if white simply replies to that, actually black can make a bishop skewer, or sorry, bishop fork here. Well, white has a very good counter attack of knight leaping over to here, attacking this square. And if silver protects there, the rook's influence is blocked, so white can now drop a bishop, attacking the lance. And well, if this silver wasn't here, the rook can protect there, but actually black doesn't have any ways to block it. But once they made the pawn push, black can save his land, so it's better for black. So that's why black pushes the pawn up to 9f here. So yeah, white didn't reply to that and moved the 0 to 4b, basically stopping this skewer, fork. So of course black can now going for edge pawn and 9e, making a vanguard pawn. So this will be black's advantage here. He can make his castle wider. So probably white can now go for Anaguma because he couldn't push the edge pawn. So it's not a good idea to go for Mino castle. Okay, king to 6b. And well, but you know, the problem is playing black, Hirose is master of Anaguma, so he also knows how to break Anaguma too, right? So maybe this was his intention to play this strategy, okay? Now silver 7h, king 7b, king 6h, king 8b, king 9, oh sorry, 7i. Okay, pawn of 5d, pawn 8f, trying to put pressure on the king's head. Okay, silver 5c, king 8h, okay, white goes for Anaguma, lance 9b, silver 4h, king 9a. Okay, now silver to 5i. Interesting. Now he's gonna bring this silver up to here, trying to make a very hard castle, probably a 4-piece castle, 4-general castle. Okay, silver closes the hatch, 8b, silver 6h. Okay, now this is the position where they went into the lunch break on the first day, and after an afternoon, white played rook to 2a. Okay, now let's see what white is going to do basically. Well, actually white is aiming for this attack, sacking the knight immediately. He can do that anytime, you know. After rook recaptures, white can now keep pushing the pawn to penetrate the second file. So that's his idea, and the question is when he's going to do that. So black always has to be careful about that and move the silver to 7g. Okay, go to 4b. Okay, you know, it's better to move it to 4b rather than 3b. You're going to see the reason later. Okay, now go to 5h. Now maybe white will do that. Knight to 2e. But white didn't do that. Go to 7b. He went on castling. Well, 7a is normal argument, but 8c square is too weak, and you can easily see that black is going to attack the 8th value in time, so white played gold 7b. Okay, now black played pawn to 1f, making escaping route for the knight, also protecting this pawn if needed. So maybe this is time white should go, and he did that. Knight to 2e. Okay, rook takes, and pawn to 2d. Okay, one option is rook to 2h, of course. Now if pawn push, maybe knight drop here, trying to attack the gold, and also dropping this pawn to 2b. Okay, so thus black can take this pawn, right? But black chose this way, rook to 2f. Okay, pawn push to 2e, rook 3f. Okay, now let's say maybe pawn push or knight drop on 2h maybe. Okay, well, let's see. Well, black can take this pawn, threatening a pawn drop on 2b in the next move, thus making this rook able to promote. Or maybe dropping a knight first, and maybe go there, pawn drop. Let's say rook takes it, bishop attacks, sacks, and knight promotion, something like that. So black is aiming for a 3d pawn at this position. Okay, now white played bishop to 4e, protecting the pawn. All right, now black can save his rook, for example. Well, for example, to 4f, bishop promotes. Oh, and at this position, if the gold was on 3b, well, a pretty famous tactic. I've actually covered this one in some of the previous video. Knight drop on 2c. If rook takes it, bishop drop on 4a, securing the golden rook, and the rook can promote in 4c. But now it's the gold on 4b, so it doesn't work. The knight will be just taken with the rook, right? And well, incidentally, rook sack on 4c is not gonna work. Bishop drop, okay, rook drop, fine. So actually, at this position, black chose an interesting idea. Pawn push to 4f, asking white to take the rook now. So he takes it, pawn recaptures, and he extends his pawn to 2f. But he made this nice square for the bishop. Bishop drop on 4i, protecting this knight. Sorry, protecting this knight and also aiming at this weak point. Okay, now pawn promotes, but bishop drop on 6e. Okay, he's attacking this square and also threatening a knight sack on 8d. If you take with a pawn, bishop promotes to 9b, checkmate. Okay, so white played, well, this is interesting. He played rook on 6d, simply defending that square and also attacking this bishop. He can take that for any time. Okay, black pushes the pawn up to 8e, now threatening another knight drop again. So white takes a bishop, bishop recaptures, and he drops a bishop back to 3h. Okay, white wants to eliminate the bishops out of the board. Now black takes, promoted pawn takes it, but this is not, this doesn't look so good. Now the knight king get away to 1g. Okay, don't forget that black is up material by one knight. Okay, now the question is, well, white can promote the rook, for example, but now the back rank of white is too weak. The gold is floating over here. So what about pawn promotion? Pawn sack and bishop attacking the gold. The gold cannot run. You can see that. So white couldn't promote his rook, and he dropped the bishop to 3g. Okay, now this bishop is pretty good. It's attacking the land. So when black pushes this pawn in the future, maybe white can drop a lance here. Black can't block it with the pawn. So that's his idea, attacking the lance. Also threatening this, or promoting it to here, or maybe promoting it to here, making a great defense later on. So very good bishop drop. Now black drops a knight to 4e now. Okay, now white chose this move, promoted pawn to 4h. Gold runs It goes 5i, gold runs. Okay, now one option is bishop promotion, threatening of this attack, but white chose bishop promotes to 2f. Okay, interesting. Defending the silver. Well, if black takes it, horse to 5c, a seriously great defense. So black can't accept that. So, well, here's the position where we saw Hirose's incredible, marvelous attack. You can let's see if you can find that move. Why don't you pause the video here and see his incredible move. Okay, here it is. He played knight to Stewie. Unbelievable. Well, I couldn't see this move at all. Now, the horse can take it, the rook can take it. Okay, now, obviously, the knight itself is threatening a promotion in 3c. Okay, if white takes with the horse, black can now take the silver, and, if the gold recaptures, white's camp is pretty weak, so he can't do that. If takes with a rook, well, back rank is weaker. So interesting. Well, how about horse to 4d, protecting both of these squares? Well, then knight can sack here. Gold takes and attack the horse. It runs, attack the horse. It's the defender removal tactic, right? So what white did was rook takes the knight. Okay. Now back rank is weak, so black drops a rook to 3a. Okay, white plays horse to 4d. Okay, opening the rook's way and protecting the lance. Okay, bishop drops on 6a. Okay, now gold. If gold runs this way, bishop can sack immediately. So gold to 6b. Now pawn 8d has to block with the knight, but doesn't seem like a good move because black can now keep going. Well, actually, Hirose thought for more than 1 hour, actually, and took it. Silver captures. Now here's where Hirose goes for it. He goes harsh attack. Now he first takes the silver. Okay, horse takes. Oh, wait a minute. One interesting option here was pawn drop. Silver takes and then take the silver. And then take this pawn and drop it to here. Well, pretty difficult to save this checkmate. Well, this pawn drop, black can just take it. Another pawn drop, for example. Yeah, but actually, rook can come over here, checking. Black can drop a pawn. Well, if silver drops, now white's king is safe, right? So black can now sack it and then take the rook. And if the king runs, well, interesting enough, this is a checkmate. Unbelievable. So that doesn't work. So black calmly took the silver on 5c. Horse recaptures. Now be careful. The horse is now attacking this square. Okay, now here, well, there are some options, and black played rook to 5a. Now he's threatening a silver drop on 7a in the next move, and that will be a disaster. So white dropped the pawn to 8b. Now all of a sudden, there's not much of pretty good ways to keep attacking. So at this position, black calmly moved the silver up to 8g. Well, basically stopping this check and making room for the gold to run away to 7h after rook comes over to 2h and attacks on 5h, right? Okay, now white sacked his prominent pawn to 5h, trying to undermine his camp, and he promotes the rook on 2i. Okay, white is actually threatening to take this gold, dropping it to here, capturing the dragon. Okay, but black played a silver drop on 7a, attacking the gold, and if gold runs, well, pawn drop, silver takes, pawn drop. Yeah, if it takes it, whatever, take the gold, drop it here. So, pretty in danger. Okay, so white took the bishop now. Dragon recaptures. Okay, knight to 8e. Yeah, well, now that white took a rook, sorry, took the bishop, he has a very good, nice square for the bishop. Okay. Well, if the silver wants, threatening to take out this silver, checking. Okay. So, well, pretty difficult position for black, right? But black calmly played gold to 6h sideways, protecting the 7h square. Okay, now white takes a silver, and gold recaptures. Okay, now one interesting attack here is silver drop on the 5b. If dragon runs here, it's killed. If runs, okay, well, let's see if he takes it. Bishop drops, securing the dragon. Oh, sorry, forking the dragon and the silver. Let's say I run it here. Attacking the dragon, attacking the silver. So, kind of interesting silver drop. But white thought, well, actually everyone thought black should take it with the knight. But, well, interestingly enough, black took the gold, and this was really, really tempting for white to make this attack. Well, actually, he did that. Silver drop on 6h. This attack can be easily seen. One would do this, basically. But maybe this was kind of a trap by Hirose. Well, it seems almost over. Black takes it, and he dropped the bishop to 7h, 7i. Well, it seems over. Remember this square is covered, so if the king runs to protect the gold, it's almost a checkmate. Here's a hostage piece for white, threatening a silver drop on 7i. So black can't do that. So black runs to 9h, and white takes the gold here. Now this is a threat mate again. Dropping a gold. Very simple mate, and it's very hard to avoid that threat mate. What about the gold drop on 8h? Well, now white can sack the dragon. Let's say king recaptures, gold drop, runs, and well, horse takes. Black can now drop a knight, blocking this horse and also making a threat mate. But at this position, horse can take it, right? If dragon takes it, silver sack, runs, knight. This knight can attack, so it's a checkmate. So dropping gold to 8h is not gonna work. Well, but here Hirose was seeing this move, silver drop on 8h, and all of a sudden it's hard to attack black's king. We couldn't find a way to keep attacking very fast, and well, once black's king is okay, now there is this knight drop on 70 coming up in the next move, which is a very, very effective and powerful threat mate, and white has to deal with that. So all of a sudden, very difficult situation for white. Okay, now white could only take the silver. Now black recaptures, and he dropped the silver to 7i. Okay, now gold drop on 7h. Okay, white takes the silver. Okay, well, don't take it with the gold. It's gonna be the same thing as what we've mentioned. So king recaptures. Okay, now gold drop to 7i, and well, this wasn't a threat mate. So black could now drop a knight to 7e. Okay, a very effective threat mate. Okay, now what takes the knight? King runs, and silver drop on 7d. Okay, removing that threat mate and also putting pressure to the king. Pretty good. Okay, now black calmly drops the silver to 6b. Now this is another threat mate. Start from taking the silver and then sacking the dragon, followed by bishop drop, silver drop. Okay. So here now white played knight drop on 8e, attacking the king. King runs, and silver to 7e, taking out the knight. But recapturing with the pawn is another threat mate, sacking the dragon in the next move. He has now silver. Okay, now horse to 7g, desperate attack, gold recaptures, and silver to 8d, standing up. Okay, now this actually stops that threat mate, so it's kind of a good move, and it also threatening these squares. So black has to be careful. Is this a threat mate or not? Well, black has to be careful about silver sack on 70 and also knight sack on 70. Well, but the thing is, it's not a threat mate actually. So black calmly took the knight here. Okay, it's again a threat mate starting from knight sacrifice. Okay, white sacked the silver, king recaptures, and dragon checked on 2e. Okay, now black dropped the knight to 4e. And now that he has used his knight, the threat mate has gone on white king. So white dropped the gold to 70, king runs, and he moved the gold to 8h, attacking the silver. Now I say white's king is not in the threat mate. What about black's king? Well, if white takes the silver in the next move, if gold recaptures, it's a checkmate. So king takes, knight takes. Not so comfortable for black. I'm not sure it's a threat mate or not, though. So, well, black saved his gold to 7f. And well, white now moved the dragon to 2i again, trying to make this check. But, well, this gold move wasn't just defending. And at this position, finally, black now sacks his dragon to 8b, king takes, and silver dropped on 7a, and here now white resigned. Well, actually, this gold move was a threat mate, and yeah, of course, Fukara knew about that, and he kind of gave up on this game. Okay, now king after the following moves are let's say king runs, bishop check, cannot block it because another bishop drop checkmate. So white runs and silver drop. Look at this, gold is supporting that silver. So it was a pretty amazing endgame. All of a sudden, we thought black's king is over, but it wasn't actually, and white's king was in trouble after that. And remember about black's knight leap on 2e? Well, one of the most incredible moves I've ever seen in the past. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.